Hi and welcome to Yoga with Ilona. Thank you so much for joining me again. I've taken a short break from uploading videos, but I'm back and will be uploading regularly again. So please do subscribe and let me know down below in the comments what you'd like to see next or what you're looking to get from these yoga videos, and I will happily make those videos for you. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through a deep stretching yin style yoga routine in which we'll hold the poses for a little bit longer than you might be used to, doing more flow vinyasa style classes. So this will allow us to get really into that deep muscle tissue and to make big improvements in flexibility and also release soreness and find a more restorative, calming style of practice that's perfect for last thing at night. If you're struggling to get to sleep, this is something that can really help you go to sleep quickly, as easing that tightness in the body. So if you're ready, then we're going to start lying on our backs with our knees bent. If you're ready, then we're going to start lying on our backs with our knees bent. So just start by making sure the whole of your back is resting into the mat. You can drop your knees together to create some space in your lower back, and make sure your feet are nice and wide apart so that lower back's got lots of space. And then you might like to place your hands on your belly and breathe deeply into that space where your hands are so that you can feel the breath really filling up the whole body. Breathe down as deeply as you can and imagine you could take the breath into that space between the hips, and then draw the breath up into the abdomen and then chest and then the throat, and then exhale from the belly first, abdomen and chest. And we'll do that a few more times. Just trying to let go of any external thoughts and using this deep breathing to bring yourself completely into the present moment. And then from here, we're going to slowly take the knees into the chest and just give yourself a hug. So you'll already feel tension releasing from the hip flexors when you hug your knees in. And then just give yourself a bit of a lower back massage by rocking from side to side, if that's okay, on your spine. And you can lift the head if that's comfortable for you, or keep it down on the mat. And then from here, we'll take the hands to the outside edges of the feet and bring your feet so they're facing up towards the ceiling for happy baby pose. You want to bring your knees so they're pointing underneath your underarms, and you want the arms straight, and then allow the weight of the legs to help them drop out to the sides. And you should feel a stretch in the hips and the glutes and the backs of the legs. And then try and tilt your tailbone down towards the mat to help you stay balanced, and then you'll be able to rock slightly from side to side. Keep breathing really fully down into the lower belly. Taking 5 to 10 deep, long breaths in happy baby. And a couple more. And then from here, bring the knees into center, and we're going to straighten the left leg out along the mat, keeping hold of the right leg and then trying to straighten the right foot up towards the ceiling. You're going to feel a really deep stretch down the back of the right leg. And using your core strength and tucking your chin into the chest, you can then try lifting your head and almost imagining you could touch your knee to your nose. Try not to force it. If your leg's up here, that's fine. Just make sure you can feel that deep stretch down the back of the leg. You can even take the hands up to the ankle. And then breathe as fully as you can. Keep the head down if that's better on your neck. And then begin as you breathe deeply to feel some of that tension and tightness releasing down the back of the right leg. And then from here, bend the right leg and curl your way up to seated, keeping your left leg straight out along the mat. And then you're going to straighten the right leg up towards the ceiling once again, this time with the spine upright, and feel how that brings the stretch to a slightly different place in the leg. And then maybe lean back slightly. You could try taking the hands to the feet for straight arms, and then straighten your spine out slightly away from the foot, feeling that elongation in the leg and the spine at the same time. And then from here, take your left hand to the outside of your left foot, and then straighten the right arm out back behind you, or take your right fingers down behind you on the mat for a spinal twist. And then taking some deep breaths into the space where you feel the twist. And then from there, we're going to bend into the right knee, straighten the right leg out along the mat, and then we'll lie back down, ready for the left side. So drawing the left knee in towards the chest, hug the left knee in, and then you're going to slowly straighten the left foot up towards the ceiling and take the hands to the calf or the thigh and feel that stretch down the back of the left leg. You might notice you feel a lot more tightness, or maybe you feel a lot more open through the left leg. We're always more flexible on one side of the body, so just notice and work with those differences. And again, really breathing into this, feeling as though you could breathe into that tight muscle, and then with every exhale feel tension and tightness easing out. And then you can try curling up, touching knee to nose if you did that on the other side. And again, breathing fully down into the space between the hips. And then from there you can try curling up, straight up into that seated leg extension, or come out and then come back into this version of the pose. And then try taking the hands to the feet once again, and then leaning back slightly, finding that elongation through the spine. and taking some full breaths here. And then from there you can take your right hand to the outside of your left foot, so you'll have your thumb pointing down, and then take your left hand out behind you and twist round, so you're feeling a twist in the centre of the spine. And then coming out on an exhale, and then from here taking your feet hip-width distance apart on the mat. And then you want to take your hands behind you with the fingers and thumbs facing out, so you're going to twist the arms around that way. And then you want your wrists, so they're going to come underneath your shoulders. And then using the strength of the hands and the feet, you're going to press up into like a reverse tabletop, keeping the chin tucked in. And then if it's more comfortable for you, you can try twisting the hands back around so the fingers point towards the heels. And then you really want to engage the back and engage the glutes to keep your body in a straight line. You don't want to be taking any tension in the neck, so keep that chin tucked in. And then if you want to take it into a deeper stretch, you can try straightening the legs out and then lifting the hips even higher up towards the ceiling. And you'll feel a really full stretch on the fronts of the shoulder girdles. Just drop down if it's too much here. And then slowly curl down to sitting. And then we'll just counterpose through the wrists, so pressing the back of one hand down and then the other. And then from there, straighten the legs out in front of you. Going to bend slightly at the knees and then fold forward from the hips. So imagine you're folding like a piece of paper, not curling the spine round. You're going to fold straight from the hips and then reach for the feet. And then you can begin keeping the belly glued to the thighs and maybe moving the flesh on the sitting bones slightly apart. You can begin to extend over the legs. Only come as far down as you can keep the belly glued onto the thighs. You might be like up here, but as long as you can feel a deep stretch down the backs of the legs, that's fine. And then as you breathe, keep edging the heels away from you, bringing the legs towards straightness. And then breathing fully, feeling the belly press into the thighs and tension in the back and the backs of the legs, releasing as we breathe. Try dropping the weight of the head down so you're not taking tension in the neck, and then you could even bring your face down onto the legs. Keep breathing in and out through the nose, remembering that if you lose the ability to breathe fully and really deeply, then that's a sign you need to take a step back in the pose you're in. You should never feel like you have to hold your breath in a yoga pose. The breath is everything in yoga. And you'll notice as you stay longer than might feel natural in this pose, you'll feel a greater level of release through the muscles. keep focusing on the breath to help you distract yourself from the physical sensation. Three more long, full breaths here. And then from here, we're going to really, really slowly, one vertebra at a time, curl up out of the pose, taking as long as you can to do this and rolling your head up last. And then from there, we're going to cross into the legs, or just find your way in any way that feels comfortable for you into a tabletop position. From here, tuck the toes under, breathe in, and then exhale. Push yourself back into downward facing dog. Taking a moment here. Feel how that long stretch in the forward fold has allowed the backs of your legs to feel a lot longer. And then with an inhale, we're going to reach the right leg up towards the ceiling, three-legged dog. And then bend the knee, engage the core to scoop the knee forward, all the way forward to the wrist crease. And then we're going to come down into pigeon. So here you might want a cushion or a block underneath your sitting bone if it doesn't reach the floor. And for some people, your ankle will be all the way forward, so your knee is in a 90-degree angle. For me, it's more like a 30-degree angle. It just depends on the way your hips are put together and what feels okay on your knee. If this feels like a really deep stretch through the glute for you already, then stay here. If you want a more restorative version of the pose and a deeper stretch, then slowly walk your way down to sleeping pigeon and turn your head to one side, ready for some long, full breaths in pigeon pose. Again, focus in on your breathing, trying to separate your mind from the physical sensations, focusing on the breath only. Trying to make sure that your exhales are longer than your inhales as well, working into the parasympathetic nervous system. And when your mind starts telling you to pull out of the pose early and you resist that temptation, that's when you're going to start making physical and mental progress. And then very, very slowly from here, you can push your way back up. And then take the hands shoulder width distance apart and just slowly push your way back into downward dog. Pedal out the feet once again, and then inhale to lift the left leg high, three-legged dog. And then exhale, scoop the knee forward, ready for pigeon on the other side. And this pose is one of those that feels super different on each side for most people. So just work with those differences. And if you can't get as far down on the left side, don't worry about it. So again, if this is enough for you, stay here. If you want that deeper stretch, again, walk your hands all the way down for sleeping pigeon. You can reach the hands forward this time and bring your forehead down onto the mat, or again, turn the head over to the other side. I'm going to turn my head to the right so you can hear me. And then breathing down into the hips. Keep elongating out those exhales. And a couple more breaths here. And then very, very slowly begin to push your way back upright. And then we'll just make our way into a tabletop position, and you can wiggle out the hips for a moment. Maybe make some circles through the wrists and the knees. And then make your way all the way down into child's pose and turn your head to one side. Breathe down into the belly. And then from there, curl your spine up slowly and make your way to a comfortable seated position on your mat. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Breathing for a moment, feeling the differences in your body after a restorative flow yoga practice. And then I invite you to bring your hands to heart center. Bow your head slightly and thank yourself for practicing yoga today. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed this yoga practice. Please let me know what you thought in the comments down below, if you have any questions or if you'd like to see anything else. And please do subscribe, because I am posting videos every week and would love for you to join me. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night's sleep. I'll see you soon.